Hi everyone, we're the Kennedys. Welcome to our latest live stream number 109. Wow. And we had so much fun last week doing all those songs of John Fogerty. Great,
yeah, it was fun.
Great songs. But this week we are doing all your requests, and they're all your requests for songs that we wrote. Yeah, and so, but before we start, we have a little disclaimer. This show was we had to pre-tape the show for a very good reason, because in just a few hours, we're going to be playing at Jam and Java in Vienna, Virginia. That's the greater DC area. So if you'd like to join us, the show starts at 7. It's not online. It's an actual in-person show, one of the very, very few.
A real concert.
And we're going to be there at 7. The doors open at 5:30. I think there may be tickets still for sale. You can check out jamandjava.com to find out. And we would love to see. We'd love to see all the people who we know from the chat room in person. Which reminds me, we are currently, while this is going out, we are currently in the car, and we're going to be on the chat with you. Well, Pete won't. He'll be driving. But I'll be on the chat with you. So we're not totally missing in action. We actually like these shows when we get to go on the chat. Because we don't get to see what you're saying until after the fact usually. So this time I'll be really blabbing along with you in the chat room.
Snappy comebacks.
I'll try my best. But we're going to start off with your requests. And this is 2 different people asked for this song. Ken Edelston asked for it, and our dear friend John Martucci asked for it. And I was thinking what a great first song it would be for this show, because when we wrote it, we had Creedence in mind. Since we just did our Creedence Clearwater John Fogerty show, this would be our it's almost a musical tribute to them, although it's our own personal creation story. And this is called 500,000 Miles. 1, 2, 3. It was a rainy night in Texas. The river was running high. Anyone with any sense was inside, staying dry. The rain came down like hammered gold and rendered all things new. Like a Colorado overflow down Congress Avenue. Round, round 10 traveling years is a mighty long, long while. When the long road stretches out ahead, 500,000 miles. In a funky rock and roll bar, a man and a woman sat, while the rain poured down with the dim, deep sound, but they paid no mind to that. They talked about the old songs, they wrote one that was new. They sang it to Roy Orbison and Ricky Nelson too. Round, round 10 traveling years is a mighty long, long while. When the long road stretches out ahead, 500,000 miles. When the sun come up next morning on the sinners and the saved, a pickup headed down the road toward Buddy Holly's grave. And in the lonesome town of Lubbock, where Buddy's bones did lay, their hearts were cut with diamonds on that strange and fateful day. Round, round 10 traveling years is a mighty long, long while. When the long road stretches out ahead, 500,000 miles. also want to send that song out to Steve Wozniak. Why? Steve, a long time ago, Steve was in Brazil, I think, and he detoured. He was going to go home to the West Coast. He detoured to New York City to see us play. And we'd never met him before, and I asked him how he even knew of us, and he said he loved that song, 500,000 Miles.
Yeah.
And when we wrote it, we didn't have this image in mind, but he said that line, their hearts were cut with diamonds, he thought of that diamond as the needle on a record player, which is very cool.
Yeah. And I thought it was this cool little moment where he said, let me get your email address for you guys. And so I gave it to him, and as I did, he took out an iPhone, and in those days you had to type it in by hand. And I thought, the guy that invented the Mac is typing our thing on his iPhone. But he's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's a really big music fan.
Really big music fan. Well, we're going to do another, these are all your requests, by the way, I already mentioned that. But 2 different people asked for this one. Emmy Kame and Paula Panzer both asked for this song. And this is a song that we wrote way back when we were living in Virginia, Fairfax, Virginia.
Yeah.
And but this was the theme song to our 4.5-year long stint as DJs on Sirius satellite radio before they even merged with XM.
Yeah.
We were originally on a station called Folktown, and then later when they discontinued Folktown, we went over to Sirius Disorder, which was a freeform station, and we did our show, and our show was called the Dharma Cafe, and this was our theme song. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grew up in Brooklyn, now she just don't seem to say. She moved to Berkeley and she changed her name to Ray. Now she's back in town with an acoustic guitar. She's looking for a neighborhood open mic bar. A little underage, but she won't get carded. She found a new place to play. Down at the Dharma Cafe, the mermaids dance all day, and the sirens sing where the dolphins play. Down at the Dharma Cafe. She says her parents were divorced 5 years ago, and her brother was a hippie, now he looks like G.I. Joe. She waited tables all around Mill Valley, stayed until she bought herself a Rand McNally. She set her sights on Tin Pan Alley, she's gonna go all the way. Down at the Dharma Cafe, the mermaids dance all day, and the sirens sing where the dolphins play. Down at the Dharma Cafe. Somewhere between her pain and laughter, it's just the thing that she's been after. She's always been a little misunderstood. All she wants to be is a force for good. If I could only sing like her, I would be playing my favorite way. Down at the Dharma Cafe, the mermaids dance all day, and the sirens sing where the dolphins play. Down at the Dharma Cafe, the Dharma Cafe, the mermaids dance all day, and the sirens sing where the dolphins play. Down at the Dharma Cafe, yeah, the sirens sing where the dolphins play. Down at the Dharma Cafe, down at the Dharma Cafe. Well, we like to get this part out of the way quickly so that we can get right back into the music. This has been our main gig, for our only gig for 2 years.
2 years,
and our main gig now. And so while all these shows are free to watch, we very much appreciate your tips. They're optional, but they help us out so much. They help to keep us going, and they help to keep the shows going. I know that's important to a lot of folks. And you can help us out a couple different ways. PayPal.me/TheKennedysMusic. Make sure you put music at the end, or it'll go to somebody in Texas. It's not us. And also Venmo.com/the_Kennedys. And we can also take other options for tipping. There's a tip jar if you go to our website, kennedysmusic.com. Click on the tip jar over on the right-hand side, and you'll see those two addresses and also ways that you can tip via Zelle or our P.O. Box. So that's kennedysmusic.com. I'll get that out of the way. Get back to the music. This is one that Joanne Corsano asked for. She's got such good, rock and roll taste. And this is one we sort of modeled this on kind of a little bit of a Chuck Berry sort of thing.
Yeah.
Ready? This is called the Travel Day Blues. Masked and anonymous, riding in the rain. Dead man traveling on a westbound train. Take a shot of bourbon for to ease the pain. Nothing but the Travel Day Blues. Daddy sang bass in the Angel Band. Mama bought a ticket to the Promised Land. Sisters in Leland raising sand. All about the Travel Day Blues. Woo! Preachers in a pulpit banging on a book. Politicians shaking hands looking like a crook. Gonna keep walking till my blues are shook. Talking about the Travel Day Blues. Mississippi blind boys are on a roll. Mona Lisa singing with a Nat King Cole. Doc Love shouting from the bottom of her soul. Shaking off the Travel Day Blues. Woo! Robin Hood, Marion, and Sugaree, Johnny B. Good and Stagger Lee, singing for nickels on Avenue B, trying to beat the Travel Day Blues. Ginsburg's down on 10th and A, Snyder settled down on by the Bay, Kerouac's gone down Mexico way, singing and the Travel Day Blues. Boulanger and Saint Germain, Debussy and Charlemagne, Herman Hesse and Jesse James, all got the Travel Day Blues. Louisiana Roadhouse to Carnegie Hall. Sometimes it seems like we've seen them all. Feeling kind of beat, but we still walk tall, walking off the Travel Day Blues. Woo! Work that tuner. Yeah. Well,
That's right. I'm gonna check it.
let's see. This next one, is this song from our first album or our second one? St. Mark's Square.
Second, it's from Life is Large.
Yeah. And this is a song that you wrote originally. And then
There's two different
add
versions.
a verse?
Yeah, I had done an older version many years before we ended up living right at the place that it was written about.
But when you wrote it
I built St.
originally,
Mark's.
it wasn't. We didn't live there ever.
No, gosh, no. I lived in Virginia at the time.
Right.
But I would go up to Greenwich Village all the time. You know, that's what you
What
do.
you do.
And so I wrote it about St. Mark's Place in the East Village. And when we recorded it, Nils Lofgren was in the studio with us, and he played the most wonderful accordion stuff on this.
Yeah, he did.
He's a great accordion player.
Maria Karlovic asked for this one. It's called St. Mark's Square. 2, 3, 4. Here's a cold wind whipping all around my face. Sunday just doesn't fit this place. I don't know why it feels so strange. Maybe some things never change, baby. Out on the scene since you hit 15. By now you know the whole routine. Take the double A and walk across. Spring and green, but you still get lost, baby. Just another Sunday going nowhere. Sitting on a bench in St. Mark's Square. All fell through, 'cause there's nothing to win, nothing to lose, baby, at St. Mark's Square. Yeah, I know we've been wasting time. Maybe it's your fault, maybe it's mine. You dream about a place way out somewhere. Wake up and you're right back there at St. Mark's Square. Hey, I'm gonna make it out of here someday. Catch a yellow cab down Avenue A. I'm gonna shake loose before I change my mind. Turn around and look back one more time, baby, at St. Mark's Square. Just another Sunday going nowhere. Sitting on a bench in the St. Mark's Square. Just another Sunday going nowhere. Sitting on a bench in St. Mark's Square. I always think of Rita Houston when we do that song. Because when we wrote that song, I've told this story before, but when we wrote that song, the line about catch a yellow cab down Avenue A, we didn't, like you said, we didn't live in New York yet.
Yeah.
And we didn't know if Avenue A was a one-way street. So we didn't know if it went up or down. And we called Rita, and she knew that it
Goes both ways.
goes both ways.
Yeah. So it was Rita approved.
Yes. Well, this is a song from my first solo album, and I wrote this. I was really into the oh my gosh, the Clive Gregson Any Trouble, the Clive Gregson Any Trouble album that came out around that time. They hadn't made a record in years, and they made this one, and I love that album so much. I listened to it, and then one day I decided I wanted to write a song like that. You know how you do that? Oh, that song's so good. I want to write a song like that.
Yeah, we talked about John Fogerty last week doing the same kind of thing. Yeah.
So Arthur Billinker asked for this. He actually didn't ask for this show. He asked for a show. This is actually a good idea. a show of, I humbly say, perfect 3-minute pop songs. So he included my song in that list. So that's nice. But we thought we'd throw that in this show because it's a nice. And I will also say, it's very Buddy Holly-ish as well, as many of our songs are.
Right.
This is called "Make It Last." 1, 2, 3, 4. Your kisses on my mind both night and day, and I try to clear my head, but it won't go away. 'Cause your face is unforgettable and my imagination best. If I only get one kiss, I'm gonna make it last. Everybody's rushing through this town, but I'm in no hurry. I see you around. Won't you spend some time with me, and don't you run away so fast. 'Cause if I only get one kiss, I'm gonna make it last. It's not every day that stars collide. It's not every day that Jupiter and Mars align across the sky. So look into my eyes, what do you see? All that love allows for you and me. You can try to close your eyes until the feeling's past. If I only get one kiss, I'm gonna make it last. Woo! It's not every day that stars collide. It's not every day that Jupiter and Mars align across the sky. So look into my eyes, what do you see? All the love allows for you and me. You can try to close your eyes until the feeling's past. If I only get one kiss, I'm gonna make it last. If I only get one kiss, yes, if I only get one kiss, oh, if I only get one kiss, I'm gonna make it last. Gotta put that Buddy Holly ending on it. Yeah. Ha. Well, this next song, somebody asked last week during the chat, and I missed it as it was going by, but she asked why weren't we singing protest songs, and she somehow missed we did a whole show of protest songs a few weeks back, and then the week before that we did a whole show of peace songs in response to the Ukrainian crisis, and so we're not at all ignoring that. In fact, we decided to do this song. Joanne asked for this one as well, but it's a song, it's actually a true story. The beginning, the essence of the song is a true story of something that happened to me when I was a little kid, but I relate it to more current events. And now it's even relatable to even more current events since I wrote it. So for Joanne Corsano, this is called Don't Talk to Strangers. 2, 3. Detroit in 1968's the time. Captured my attention, the shiny fire engine. I chased nowhere to turn in a town without pity. Don't talk to strangers, Mama said. There may be danger on the dark road up ahead. One never knows who hides in the shadows, what kind of life they have led. Don't talk to strangers. Barefoot and bleeding refugees, their cry. Come with sons and daughters, for shelter, food, or water, fleeing with their very lives and leaving all they knew. Now we're building walls at the gates of our city. No one to trust in a town without pity. Don't talk to strangers, Mama said. There may be danger on the dark road up ahead. One never knows who hides in the shadows, what kind of life they have led. Don't talk to strangers. I remember thinking then when I was 5, knew the rules, knew what they were for. But if I was to make it home, I couldn't keep 2 rules I'd known. Had to overcome my blindness, put my faith in human kindness. Like Lady Liberty, she stood outside. Family all around her, friendly air about her. She would guide me home, it was the only hope I knew. Sweet chariot, we rode through the city. The look in her eyes was more kindness than pity. Don't talk to strangers, Mama said. But is there no danger in denying what I read? By that golden door, her torch lit the shore. Welcome all instead. She lifted her lamp shone alive. It lighted the way home, the way home to That brings me right back to Detroit. As a wee
When
little
you were a
kid.
little
It's
kid?
the first time I was ever in a big city. We drove from Syracuse to Redwood Falls, Minnesota, and we stopped off in Detroit to see my cousin June. And all the houses were the same. They were brick houses. And I was playing with my cousins. I was little, and a fire truck went by. I remember I very clearly walking with my cousins. They were slightly older. And I said, "Oh, fire, let's go chase the fire." So we walked for a while, and they said, we'll never catch the fire truck. And I said, "No, I want to see the fire truck." And they turned around and went home, and I kept going. So that was, Yeah, that's how
But
I got
total
lost.
strangers got you back to your family.
Yes, they did. They did. They drove me around. It was like the sweet chariot. She drove me around in her chariot until I found my family. They didn't even know I was missing. They're like, "Oh, where you been? We didn't even miss you."
One less mouth to feed.
Deborah Lasowitz asked for this song. It requires me to wet my whistle with some ginger tea. It's that kind of song. 9th Street Billy knows it all. He shares his wisdom free. If you need a good word or a fine silk shawl, Billy's the man to see. He can pull down a song from the middle of the air, call out the spirits over Tompkins Square. Oh, 9th Street Billy, the guru of East Side soul. 9th Street Billy knows the tunes, and we all call his little shop home. When he plays his guitar in the late afternoon, singing "O Mane Padme Hum," he can pull down a song from the middle of the air, call out the spirits over Tompkins Square. Oh, 9th Street Billy, the guru of East Side soul. Come on, Pete. 9th Street Billy knows the chords. He's the bossa nova Buddha of the street. A juke joint Django, a soul rearranger. The Harlem shuffles in his feet. He can pull down a song from the middle of the air, call out the spirits over Tompkins Square. Oh, 9th Street Billy, he'll give you a smile. 9th Street Billy, sit down for a while. 9th Street Billy, the guru of East Side soul. A drum roll on my lap. Oh.
I like that percussion. It's a good little Brazilian groove.
But you know, you put a drum in front of me and I got no rhythm, but I can do percussion on my lap.
On your lap.
I don't know why
Lap.
that is. I don't know why that is.
Then lap away.
There must be a psychological thing, don't you think?
Probably
It probably is.
the lap.
Well, also, we're going to send that one out to Bob Broughton because Bob came to visit us. We went out and got coffee, and his next stop was at Billy Lyle's shop, 9th Street Billy's shop.
And then he took off for home in Mexico, but next month he's going to be home in British Columbia.
And Canada. That guy gets around.
Kamloops, yeah. He does. He really gets around the whole planet.
Well, our good friend Joshua asked for this one. It's the first song on our first album, and it still has a nice warm place in my heart because when I sing this song, I think about where we were when we wrote it. We were on tour with Nancy Griffith. It was our first tour together, and everything about that time was just magical. This is called The River of Fallen Stars.
3, 4.
In the seaweed, down by the snow cross, northern and mossy they will like a walk star. And the jangled poets will sing their songs, while the pilgrim travelers will listen from afar. And from down in the valley, where the gospel horses run, all the way to the midnight bridge, the seaweed down by the snow cross. Northern and mossy, they will echo off a star. And the Jingle Poets sing their songs while the pilgrim travelers will listen from afar. And from down in the valley where the gospel horses run, all the way to the midnight grid where the flags of victory are hung. And the jangle dreams, red guitars flow like a river, flow like a river, flow like a river of fallen stars. Still ringing. We'll dedicate that to all the Jangle Poets. Those of you who
Yeah.
have seen that phrase in the chat room, what is a Jangle Poet? There used to be a what do you call those, newsletter groups,
Something list.
a listserv group
listserv.
called the Jangle Poets when we first got together, and they took their name from that song. And I know now a whole bunch of them are over here with us every week, so that's for you.
Up to the Jangle Poets.
My old homie Karen Munsey asked for this song.
Capo like I did on the record.
And we wrote this song on Skyline Drive in the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Looking down on the valley.
On the valley, and there was fog, and there were deer everywhere. We stayed in a little cabin for 4 or 5 days and wrote about half the songs on Life is Large. And this was, and still is, the title track of that album, Life is Large.
D4.
I knew a man, he never went very far. He had a hollow in his soul, a hollow in his time. Just believe this road does not end here. No. How do you want to be remembered? A raging fire or a dying ember? Life is large, bigger than the both of us. Hey, life is large. All you need is just a little trust. Be yourself and stand your ground. Don't you let nobody turn you around. Life is large. Hey, life is large. Life is large. Ooh, life is large. Yeah, yeah.
You know, recording that song, we did the basic part of it, the guitar, the rhythm guitars and bass and drums. We did those in Maryland,
Right.
with the great late Wade Matthews on bass and the great and still alive Vinnie Santoro on drums. And we got that done, and I played some guitar and I played a little bit of organ on it.
Didn't we also have Stars Vanderlocket on the bongos?
Yeah, and then we went down to Austin to the Woodshed studio, and Susan Cowsill, Peter Holtzapfel,
Kelly Willis.
Kelly Willis, Jimmy LaFave, Michael Fracasso,
Monty Warden was there, I think.
Monty Warden, and Gurf Morlix.
Gurf was there.
And they all sang on the chorus.
Yeah.
And then we went back to D.C. and we were in the studio, and John Gorko was there, and Eric Gamble.
Yeah.
So they got on the song too. And then it needed one more. It needed the cherry on top.
Yeah.
And we went down to Florida, and Roger McGuinn did the 12-string Bach Jesu Joy Mazzatari Soul. So there's such a cast of thousands on that record.
Life is large.
Yeah, it was large.
The song is large. Well, this next one is a song that Pete wrote about an actual event that took place in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
And Steve Viola asked for the song. We're going to send it to Steve. And we're also going to send it out to Sylvia if she's watching, because I know her dear departed, Bill, loved this song. Whenever we played the song, Bill would always stand up and shout. There's a line in the end. And I know those of you who know, you will stand up and shout it.
He played the Officer Krupke.
Yeah,
Yeah, this goes out to Bill and to Sylvia.
it's called The Riot in Bushwick.
It was a riot in Bushwick last night. The cops came roaring down a Cook Street. They were jonesing for a fight. One about money, one about race. It was only rock and roll until they raided the place. It was a riot in Bushwick last night.
Well, we hauled our gear, and man, those steps were long.
We were up on the roof, just like in the Drifters song.
Well, the show went great. They were shouting for more, but we ran out of songs before the encore. And then down in the street, I saw those flashing lights.
It was a riot in Bushwick last night. The cops came roaring down to Cook Street. They were jonesing for a fight. It wasn't about money and it wasn't about race. It was only rock and roll until they raided the place. It was a riot in Bushwick last night.
Well, the mood was mellow, there was no cause for alarm. started to shout. I looked around, there was one way out. If the door was quiet, we'd have to rock climb over the side.
It was a riot in Bushwick last night. The cops came roaring down a Cook Street. They were jonesing for a fight. One about money, one about race. It was only rock and roll until they raided the place. It was a riot in Bushwick last night. Okay, go.
Have to do a little, what do they call it?
Doppler siren.
Doppler. You start with it.
I love that you can do that.
And you just bring it back down.
That's the key, isn't it?
Because if you start with it all the way down, you can't get it any further.
When you say all the way down, you're talking about bending the notes up and then letting them come down.
Yeah, you get the 3 notes you want. Then you bend them up before you play them.
Ah.
So they're already bent. And then when you play them, you start relaxing your hand.
And there it goes down the street.
Down Cook Street.
My sister Susie asked for this song. She's right upstairs. And this is a song, I will say this, my sister's bookshelf is organized by color of spine. And I wrote this song after reading one of the books in the white spine section of the bookshelf. And that is Shipping News. And the funny thing is, I love that book so much that every time I saw it in a used bookstore, I would buy it and, give it away. And in doing that, I kept forgetting if I'd given the last one away or not. And so now I have like 3 copies. So if anyone wants a copy of the Shipping News, let me know. I'll send it to you. But this is a song that I wrote after reading that. Really great story. Very spooky story. It's called Down, Down, Down. I can taste it, tip of my tongue. Ooh, tip of my tongue. It's a sweet wine, I swirl it around. It goes down, down, down. Now I see it, edge of the sea. See it, edge of the sea. There's a ship out on the cold black deep.
toss me deep in the purse. But you will have the better of that, and I will have the worst. And you will strike the very first blow, strike it like a man. I will strike the very next blow, and I'll kill you if I can. So Matty struck the very first blow, and he hurt Lord Donald sore. Lord Donald struck the very next blow, and Matty struck no more. And then Lord Donald, he took his wife, sat her on his knee. He said, who do you like the best of us? Matty rose, oh me. And then up spoke his own dear wife, never heard to speak so free. I'd rather a kiss from dead Matty's lips than you or your finery. Lord Donald, he jumped up and loudly he did bawl. He struck his wife right through the heart and pinned her against the wall. Oh, brave Lord Donald cried to put these lovers in, but bury my lady at the top, for she was of noble kin.
Yeah, it's a terror song. Well, we're at the top of the hour.
Oh.
Should we do one more song?
Yeah. Which one should it be?
Let's do the Midnight Ghost.
Okay.
And you know what I think we'll do for next week? I think next week, because we got so many requests for our songs, and we've been doing lots of different themed shows lately, we're going to do another round of your requests of our songs.
Great.
And of course, Matty Groves wasn't our song, it's a traditional song, but, you know,
You get the idea.
you get the idea. So next week, stay tuned. Next week, we'll do another whole nother round of them. But we're going to end with this one. This is one that Dan Unger asked for. Another sip of tea is required
Right.
because it's about the beatniks.
But I got to go for coffee on this one.
Yeah, you definitely have to go for coffee on this one. Ready?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Fog was rolling in on the California coast. We caught a fast freight called the Midnight Ghost. We huddled in our blankets, sharing coffee in a tin, and thought about New York as the cold crept in. Working on our karma, take it as it comes, spinning out the Dharma in the cold gray sun. The wind is always with us when we need it the most, riding shotgun on the chain called the Midnight Ghost. They call the ghost a zipper and zip along she can, 80 miles an hour on the straightaway man. Heading up to Frisco for the pleasure of the ride, to sleep out on the beach, out of reach of the tide. Working on our karma, take it as it comes, spinning out the Dharma in the cold gray sun. The wind is always with us when we need it the most, riding shotgun on a train called the Midnight Ghost. Oh, Pete. left it all behind just to live this way. So settle in your bedroll and I'll pass you the wine, just to warm the soul as we roll down the line. Working on our karma, take it as it comes, spinning out the Dharma in the cold gray sun. Moving this always with us when we need it the most, riding shotgun on a train called the Midnight Ghost. Ooh.
Yeah, that was so much fun. Thank you all so much for your requests. It makes us feel good
Yeah.
when you request songs
Great
that we
requests,
wrote.
too. All songs we love to play.
We love to play them, and we'll play more of them next week. If you want to get your requests in, do it in the chat. I'm on the chat. I'll see them. I'll make a note of them. We'll also do all the leftover songs. We got so many requests that we'll do those next week too.
Yeah.
In the meantime, if you're in the DC area tonight and you want to catch an actual live in-person Kennedy show, we're going to be at Jam and Java at 7 p.m. That's in Vienna, Virginia. And you can get information on that on our website. Our tip jar is there as well. And that's all the information you need. It's all on our website. Meantime, we'll be back here next Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And we hope that you have a great week in the meantime, and we'll see you soon.